back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist where we talk about improving your overall relationship with money and building better financial habits. On each episode, I'll discuss real life situations and give y'all practical advice. The point of this podcast is to help you stay in your financial lane so you won't end up broke. I'm the creator and host, Richie. Now, let's jump into today's conversation. What's up, y'all? I'm back. I know you hearing all of this going on, and you probably like, she got the COVID. No, I don't. So I sing and I feel like I have been talking too much. I am talking a lot. I'm a speaker. Y'all know I have the podcast. You know that I have coaching. I'm always talking. I'm talking. And I feel like I need to give my vocal cords a break. And so that's what you're hearing right now. I'm not sick. Ain't nothing wrong with me. No fevers, nothing. So I just want to make sure we get that clear. So yes, you are going to have to put up with the episode sounding like this. And check this out. You really didn't at first because I recorded this episode 2 weeks ago. But after re-listening to it, I said, Dag, I missed something. And I didn't want to go in there and edit because as you hear, I sound like this. So you would hear natural sounding me versus how I sound right now with the raspiness going on. So I just said, forget it. I scrapped the whole episode and I just decided to just make it over. So this is what you get. But I want to start off with gratitude, thanking y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all don't even know. I appreciate y'all being my tribe, y'all listening, y'all sharing, all of the things that y'all are doing, the support, all of that. I get it. I see it. And I just want to say thank you because I truly appreciate it. Without y'all, I don't have a podcast. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me from the bottom of my heart. Okay. So I got to let y'all know this. I was on the Reverb experiment, not last week, the week before last. Y'all, I just got to send a shout out to them. So, you know, I'm here in Sacramento and the Reverb Experiment is also a Sacramento based podcast, but they do their episodes. They're live. They're on YouTube and they also have the audio. Like you can find my audio. It made me start thinking, I may want to do some visuals, but I don't know yet. But anyways, when I went over there, I had such a great time. The vibes was organic. Yo, they was dope. It was so cool. Like, I just had such a great time. And you know, when you're meeting people for the first time, you never know what the experience is going to be like. Is it going to be weird? We going to be cool? You know, like, what is it going to be, right? But it was just great off top. All right. So I want to make sure that I say what's up to the Reverb Experiment. Y'all make sure y'all go check them out just because I had a great time. They talk about hot topics, lots of great insight going on over there. Okay. Some deep thoughts happening over there. All right. And so how I was introduced to the Reverb Experiment was through Steph's husband. And I didn't get a chance to meet Steph. She had a family emergency, so she wasn't there. But Steph's husband, he heard me speak last year in August, y'all. Okay, so look at how the universe just be working. Last year in August, when he heard me speak, he was like, yo, she dope, told them about me. And we ended up linking up. What's this, May? All these months later, I ain't even feel like trying to count, okay? I ain't even want to do that to myself. All these months later, we got a chance to get together, do an episode together. And so it was dope, had a great time. Y'all make sure y'all go check them out. The episode that I'm on was Rich Spirit. We talked about mental health, you know, what I've been talking about here on the podcast, and a lot of different hot topics, things that are going on in life right now, in the world right now. And yo, it was just dope. I was nervous. It was so funny because I'm not like a shy person or anything, but I was a little nervous at first. And I was like, what's wrong with me? What's going on? But anyways, Rich Spirit is the episode I'm on. And I believe that's episode 48. Y'all make sure y'all go check them out. They on YouTube. Go subscribe. Yo, anybody that's doing it dope. I mean, like, I'm a fan now. Okay, so y'all make sure you check them out. Like I said, they're on YouTube. They're also on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're on all of the things. Okay, so go check them out. That's the Reverb Experiment. And once again, want to thank y'all so much for having me as a guest. I really enjoyed myself. All right, and so May. Ooh, I had to catch my breath, y'all. That was a lot. Y'all, I gotta get the visuals going so y'all can see this. This be crazy for me. All right. And so May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And y'all know I'm deep. I've been talking about mental health and the correlation between stress, money stress specifically. All right. And so because I'm such a deep person, I'm very self-aware. I'm just one of those people. This was the month that I was like, all right, we got to start a series. I got to talk about this just because my goal overall is to make sure that we are talking about money. Me being the financial practitioner that I am, I want to make sure I'm doing my part, carving out a piece of this earth to talk about money because that's what I've been blessed with. God has blessed me to understand finances, personal finances being my specialty. So I wanted to give that information back to y'all. And so that's the reason why I've started doing more segments where they're concentrated on a particular subject. And they've been working, child. I went back and started looking at some of these. I was like, y'all really like these. Like, y'all go in a row. It just be cool. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and move into the Let's Talk About Money segment. So for those of y'all who are new, that is the segment where I start talking about the topic. And also for those of y'all that are new, what I started this podcast doing is taking a song, more so, let's say a hip hop and R&B song, and I'll use that song title as the topic point. And so for this series, I did that. So the title of this series is My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. And that's a song from the Ghetto Boys, if you're not aware. And so that was one of the first rap songs that I learned in life. My mom played that for me. And so I thought that would be pretty cool because when I was doing my research to begin this series, I didn't know that song was talking about mental health. But it's like, if you look at it, my mind's playing tricks on me, duh. That's what that means. And I didn't know that growing up when I first heard that song. And so I thought that the title was fitting for this series. And so we are on episode 3 of this money, stress, and mental health 3-part series. And in today's episodes, I'm going to be giving y'all my rich tips that can lower your money stress and increase your mental health. All right. So just to give everybody a recap, not to say y'all shouldn't go back if you haven't heard the first 2 episodes before this one, because you really need to listen to the first 2, then listen to this one, because they all go in a row. They all, like, I can't think of the word. They impact, not impact. Child, I can't even think of the word. They do something. What do? They build. My bad, y'all. They build upon each other. See, I had to think that out. Now, if I was one of those people who wanted this to be perfect, I would have took that out and edited it. But I don't have time for all of that. Y'all getting raw meat. Okay, that's what this is. So the episodes, they build upon each other. So just to recap a little bit. In the first episode, I started off talking about how money problems can be linked to your mental health. Then in part 2, I talked about depression and how that depressive mental fog, it can affect your finances. And here we are to part 3, the last episode of the series, where I'm going to give you some rich tips to help you decrease your money stress. All right. And then also, I'm hoping with these tips that helps you ultimately increase your mental health. All right. Just because there is a direct correlation between our mental health and our finances. When you off mentally, of course, that's bleeding into every other area of your life, right? And your finances being a huge part of your life, just because every single thing that we do, it has some type of money value. It has some type of cost, right? It has something. And that's the reason why I talk about money. Not to say money is everything. I get it. I understand. For those people that's like, money's not everything, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But every single thing that we do costs money. All of the things that you're in a household right now that costs money. You probably sitting on a chair that costs money. Money is all around us. So I want to make sure that we understand these links between these things, so that way we can be more mindful of not only our mental health, because being mindful of your mental health is going to help you with being more intentional and mindful in your finances as well. Okay? All right. So for today, I'm going to give y'all my 3 rich tips to help you lower your money stress. And that first tip is staying positive, y'all. And I get it. I understand it is not easy to stay positive, especially if you grown, you adulting in today. Okay, child? Back in the day, it felt like let's take it back to when we was kids. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. That's what used to be my song, y'all. Okay. I don't know why I just thought that would go right there, but it did. So when we were kids, it felt like life was just so easy because we didn't have all of these responsibilities, right? We didn't have all of these things that we had to think about, all of the, intentions that we have to make now, all of the mindfulness that we need to put to each area of our life. We didn't have that. We just went to school, played with our friends, ate, did it all over again, right? That was it. That was your day. But in adulting, there's a lot that's going on. And so staying positive, especially in hard times, especially when you're going through something and whatever that life stage, whatever that life change, whatever that thing may be, may not be the easiest. I realize this, right? I know there's a lot of people who don't like going to church, right? They don't like the whole politics or the business side of church. But for me, I always love going to church because I'm always energized. I always feel way more positive than I did when I walked in that door. Not to say something was wrong with me, but to get that encouragement, to get that word, right? So you have to figure out where you're going to get your word from, your motivation, your inspiration, your encouragement. All right. Where are you going to get that from? I just gave the example of me getting mine from when I go to church. And I also have other avenues of that. I listen to motivational videos and books because I'm an Audible girl. Okay, child. I would love to sit down and read, but I just don't be having time for that. So the Audible is what keeps me. Okay. Got me in the chokehold right now. All right. I don't think I read a book in forever. All right. And so I really do believe that the more positive we are, when we stay in that positive mode, that can help us with decreasing any of those mental challenges that we may be having when your mind is playing tricks on you, when your mind is telling you something that isn't true. Because most of the times when we're in those mental fogs, when we going into those depressions and things like that, your mind is telling you something that isn't necessarily true. All right. So finding our way to get back to positivity. And another way that you can do that is having gratitude. What can you be thankful for right now? What can you sit here and just say, you know what? What am I thankful for? Right? Or think of those times when you weren't positive and when you came out of that, just knowing, you know what, I'm not going to stay here. Because sometimes when we're in those depressive modes, we feel like we're going to stay there. Like that's where we live. This is where I live. Depression, 123 Avenue. Okay. And you don't have to be there. So finding your ways to stay positive. I'm not going to ever tell you to fake being positive because that can affect your mental health even worse. But finding a genuine way to get back to positivity. I'm going to tell y'all this. I've been going through a thing, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the series, right? I've been going through my own mental challenges, going through my own depressive states, right? And I'm okay with admitting that because I'm now getting through those times, right? But when I was there, it was hard. It was a lot of crying. It was a lot of sad times. But what I realized when I'm sad, you get in such a fog where the world just feels like it's over when it's really not. I think about that a lot. I've lost important people in my life, right? Very important people in my life. And I think about they're no longer here to even cry. They're no longer here to even be sad and do these things. And I'm just like, this life is short. So for me, I always think about how short life is. When I get into these modes of my mind starting to play any like little tricks on me or start to tell me things that I know aren't true or start to get me down, right? To make me feel more in a negative mode. I start thinking about that. Life is short. What am I going to do with the time that I have now? How am I going to make the best of today? The sun may not be shining today, right? But it can shine tomorrow. So having some type of some type of optimism, in my day and how you're going to bring that. Now, I know it feels like I've probably been rambling. At this moment, it feels like it. But don't fake happy, but find your way to get back to happy. All right? So that's number one. The second rich tip to help you lower your money stress and increase your mental health is going to be pinpointing the problem with your money or in your finances. Child, Me being, you're going to hear me say this a lot just because I like how I sound, okay? Me being a financial practitioner for almost 16 years. Yes, okay, that's something I'm excited about, okay? I've talked to a lot of people about their finances, about their money, about what's going on, what they think the problems are. And the one thing that I can say is a lot of people, they treat the symptoms instead of really getting down to the root of what their money problem is or what the root of the problem is in their finances. I'm going to give you an example because this is one that we hear often, right? So majority of my clients, they also say this thing that I feel like everyone hears often, which is my credit score is low or I need to fix my credit. And so when I'm helping my clients, I always want to start with the why because I want to know why you think your credit score is low. And majority of the time is I just need to fix my credit. There's never anything else. When your credit score being low is actually just a symptom. It's not the root problem. So if we're going to the root, there can be tons of different root problems with a credit score being low. It could be that you're not paying your bills on time. But if you're not paying your bills on time, that stems a deeper issue. Are you not managing your money right? Or do you need to make more money? So you see how your credit score being low, that just being a symptom of maybe you need to make more money or you need to manage your money better. Right? So that is the root problem. And that's what I like to talk about with people, especially for me as a financial coach. We need to get down to the root. And when you're trying to decrease your money stress, you need to understand what your root problem is, not just what the symptoms are. Those are the symptoms from the root. You got to get to that root so that way you can attack that, treat that. So that way you can eliminate all of that stress that you're having from all of these symptoms that are occurring because you have a root problem. All right. So that leads me to the number 3 tip, which is when you know that there is an issue in your finances, you know that you're having some issues with your money, you need to seek professional help. So because you are listening to the Mindfully Rich podcast, I have got to tell you how I offer professional help with helping you get down to your root problem. So introducing to y'all the Mindfully Rich coach, myself. You've been listening to me talk to y'all about money all this time. I also offer coaching. So I have one-on-one coaching and also group coaching where we will talk about whatever your root problem is so we can get you from point A to point B to get you to the goal that you're looking for with your money and in your finances. And so I created 2 mastermind programs to help you with your finances. The first one focuses on managing your money, budgeting, and savings. And the next one focuses on credit, paying down your debt, and also preparing you for your next loan purchase. So, child, if y'all want me to help you with getting to the next level in your finances with your money, you want to check out my mastermind programs, go ahead on to IamMindfullyRich.com. It's in the show notes as well. That's where the website is at. That's where you can find all of the details. If you want to do a consultation so you can see if this program is right for you, if this is something that you need, let's go ahead, book me for the consultation. It's 15 minutes. It's concentrated. The questions are very mindful and intentional. So please make sure you check me out or sign up for your consultation so you can see if the program is right. I only have a few slots that are opened up just because I can't have everybody and their mama in there. Okay. I want to make sure that everybody's getting the help that they need. All right. You done trusted me to give you all these financial tips. Go ahead. Let me assist you with getting to the next level in your finances. Okay. So I done been talking a lot. I told y'all in the beginning, I need to shut up. And so that's what I'm about to do. So don't forget, check out my website, IamMindfullyRich.com. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the series. If you haven't listened to all the episodes, just go ahead on back. And let me go ahead and celebrate. This is episode 96, just to let y'all know, 96, okay? I've been doing it for 96 episodes, all right? So that is an accomplishment. And I'm going to find my positivity and happiness and gratitude in that moment, all right? And so y'all make sure that you are always doing your own research as well. Listening to the podcast is cool, but do your own research just to make sure that you're understanding it for yourself. And thank y'all once again for listening. Continue to listen, share, write more reviews. Keep the reviews coming. I love to see them. All right. And that's it. So y'all live life mindfully, intentionally, and on purpose. And until next time, when I hit y'all with another one.